population-based level, because ultra-processed foods don't have a lot of fiber in them or any fiber in them. Animal-based products don't have fiber in them, so we want to be mindful of that ratio. Red meat's the really controversial one, and increased servings of red meat, of course, dietary studies quartile it, lowest exposure, highest exposure. Highest exposure groups had poor embryos develop, worse outcomes with IVF, and an increase in staging of endometriosis when they went to surgery. That doesn't mean to me that all red meat is bad, but it probably is for a subset of people more inflammatory, causes more IGF-1. We want to be mindful of it. The question I always get is, does source matter? I mean, probably, but we weren't looking at it in any of those studies. So I think being very mindful of where your animal-based protein is coming from is really important in today's kind of food world. Not all foods are created equal, even when they fall into the same category. And as we're saying that healthy fats are really, really important, right? Cholesterol is the backbone for steroid hormone. So you need cholesterol in your body. So we really want to encourage those monounsaturated, polyunsaturated fatty acids. So the nuts, olive oil, fish, algae, chia seeds, flax, those things have so many benefits when it comes to the omega-3 fatty acids they have, but also that they're great healthy sources of cholesterol, which your body needs. And in fact, if you don't intake enough, you're not going to make progesterone as well. We want to be really minute. You need progesterone for implantation. Don't have enough unsaturated fat in your diet, you're not going to make as much progesterone. So there's some nuance there. But to the heart of your question, I'm a huge advocate for that, especially if you're struggling with something, you're not feeling your best, if you say you kind of hit the marker on a lot of these inflammatory symptoms and you don't know what's going on, it can be a really helpful tool once you're controlling the other ones to try to leverage. But again, sleep, stress, building muscle, avoiding those excess toxins, like those are a huge piece of the puzzle too. And a lot of them go hand in hand, right? A lot of times we eat a food that's also wrapped in something that has, toxic chemicals in it. So we really want to think about the fact that when you work from home, when you have access, whole foods and is really important, as always leveraging processed or ultra-processed versions.
Would you say that what you just described, in fact, everything we talked about, also pertains to perimenopause, menopause?
Absolutely. Okay. It's so fascinating because when I sit with a lot of people who just do menopause, we have the same recommendations for lifestyle and decreasing inflammation because it's going to improve, ovarian response. It's going to improve how your body feels, decreasing inflammation. We know that when you go into menopause, estrogen has such profound anti-inflammatory benefits that one of the biggest problems is a baseline increase in your inflammation. So don't wait till you're in perimenopause or menopause to start to learn these things. Learn them whatever point you are now is the perfect time where we can start to make a difference, both for hormonal health now, fertility now or later, but also your ovarian function long-term.
Amazing. Dr. Natalie Crawford, thank you so much. I mean, I can't tell you how much I learn every time you speak. On this podcast and elsewhere, people should definitely get your book. Again, I've read it. I read it cover to cover. The Fertility Formula, Take Control of Your Reproductive Future. Natalie Crawford, MD, did all the training, runs a clinic, is out there doing public education amidst everything else, co-managing a family, and just really expanding the field. I mean, you're taking it in new directions, which is really to me, the most important thing, right? That you're out there teaching people, but you're also going back to the clinic and you're paying attention to the science and evolving the science because this field is just going to improve over time. But you've given people so many actionable things to contemplate, to definitely do, if I may insert my own beliefs there. And just a lot to think about in terms of the general landscape of how we think about reproductive health, both our own and societally. So thank you so much for coming back. We will do it again if you're willing, and just grateful to you.
Always. Thank you so much for having me and holding space for this discussion. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining me for today's discussion with Dr. Natalie Crawford. To find links to her podcast and her new book, The Fertility Formula, please see the links in the show note captions. If you're learning from and or enjoying this podcast, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's a terrific zero-cost way to support us. In addition, please follow the podcast by clicking the follow button on both Spotify and Apple. And on both Spotify and Apple, you can leave us up to a 5-star review. And you can now leave us comments at both Spotify and Apple. Please also check out the sponsors mentioned at the beginning and throughout today's episode. That's the best way to support this podcast. If you have questions for me or comments about the podcast, or guests or topics that you'd like me to consider for the Huberman Lab podcast, please put those in the comment section on YouTube. I do read all the comments.